I don't accept this.
But we can go ahead and start Audacity 2 if you want. We got about 4 minutes to go, so we'll have a 4-minute lead in. So let's don't start it yet.
Yeah, so suck
Because
it.
it just takes, it's like that much more I got to cut out.
I see. See, my clock on my computer's wrong. So it looks like it's 8.
Was that right?
I wonder if your CMOS battery's bad.
I don't know what that means.
That's the battery that's always running inside your computer to keep track of the time and the date and the partridge in the pear tree.
Plausibly. Everything else is right.
They're pretty expensive for a CMOS battery, though. It's like $3 or $4.
I don't want that. I'm saving up for college.
Can't afford that.
You'll never
I don't
be
need
able
to
to
know what
afford
time
that.
it is when I'm going to class at a certain time.
Well, I have enough money for the first semester and a half already, so
Nice, Gabe.
maybe I can splurge.
Splurge on a battery.
I don't know. It's going to be cutting it tight, don't you think?
That's true. But it's only a semester and a half. I mean, I might as well round down.
All right. I'll put this in the chat for you kiddos.
Oh, no.
If you want to.
We're going to get yelled at.
Chat. As far
Chatty
as
make chat up a bitch.
the general public.
Have we really ever had anyone in our chat, though? Let's be honest.
I think we had once, and then we had George that one time. I think, I'm not sure if we've had just people looking. I think people are just,
Gabe DeScenzo tends
It kind
to be
of ruins it if you're listening to the episodes on a podcast and then you come and watch this. You get lost.
Yeah, for sure. And like a few people have commented on Facebook that they have, but my problem is I don't always share out to every single channel. It's usually on Twitter.
Right.
And I think that sort of stymies.
Which is fine. It's for us anyway as a backup.
Yeah,
so.
exactly right. Exactly right.
I went back and reviewed a little bit today, so it helps.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to use those to write down what my old recommendos were, because that's just faster.
Yeah.
And that's a new thing that I'm trying to do on a regular basis, too, is after after I release an episode, I go look at all the recommendos and tweet those out.
I saw that. I like that.
Yeah, so if you guys wouldn't mind just retweeting and liking those particulars rather than share your own, only because
not Matt's.
Only because I typically tag them with a special link if they're on Amazon, so that I get affiliate kickback if we get any sales off that. But that all goes into the podcast. So so far I haven't had much because I found out that some of the previous episodes, something got fucked up in the code, and the links weren't working. So I'm hoping that'll kick in retroactively.
Oh, cool.
So we'll see if that is
That's crazy.
Raking in that internet money.
Okay. We are at 8 o'clock, so let's get this fucker rolling.
Want to clap?
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Go ahead and start your
I got the clap.
I did it already.
You do it.
All
right.
It's a creamy discharge.
All right.
Green.
3, a 1, a 2, a 3. Thank you. All right. We are live and in charge, so let's get this thing going.
Hello, Internet.
Welcome to episode 33 of the Lovecraft Tapes, an actual play Call of Cthulhu 7th edition RPG podcast. I am Jeremy, your keeper of arcane lore. Your investigators of the unknown are Matt as Dan Williams.
When they said everything is bigger in Texas, I didn't think they meant that.
Gabe as Roy Arroyo.
Now that I'm here, everything is really bigger in Texas.
And Brian as Jack Whiteside.
I told you I'd take long showers not to come in.
Ooh, long showers, huh? Is that why everything's bigger in Texas?
Zip.
Gross. Okay, how's everybody doing tonight? What are we eating and drinking?
I'm drinking sweet tea, and I'm eating air.
I'm drinking sweat tea.
Gross.
Sounds lovely.
Matthew, drinking anything, buddy?
Drinking water.
Oh, gross.
Whoa.
Well, I decided not to do any of those things, and instead I'm drinking a delicious boomstick brew, the Unnameable.
What's its name?
It's unnameable.
But doesn't
What
giving it
is
the
it?
name, the unnameable, kind of defeat the purpose in the first
Exactly.
place?
Right. This is a apricot Bretta ale, which is quite delicious. Very refreshing, especially for summertime. A nice little kick too, right about 5.5%, 6%. So
Right in the teeth.
all right. Well, before we begin, we do need to take a quick commercial break, and we're back.
Whew, that was a tough one.
That is
Texas
very
ad
creative.
agencies,
Very
man.
creative. Well, kind of creative.
Yeah, once we moved to Texas, then we had to, start waving some different flags around and putting up statues of, people who have trampled on rights. So Trump, basically, is what I'm kind of.
So not wrongs?
No, not wrongs. No.
Okay. good.
I walked outside yesterday, said hi to some dude, and he gave me a gun, and I was all like, "What?"
Welcome to Texas, partner. Here's a gun.
That'd be
Oh,
great.
Do you guys happen to remember that thing called the Alamo?
No.
No, not
Don't ring
really.
a bell.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Where all the
Alamo Draft
alumni
House
meet
closed
up.
down, man.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. All right. Well, we do need to take a quick look at. I wanted to touch upon Letters from Beyond before we begin.
Ooh.
And we got a couple things this week. Daryl Carlson on Facebook says, prior to episode 26 during Cthulhu Rules, you spoke about using magic and how it will affect hit points if magic points are exceeded. Magic should seriously affect the character's sanity as well. So I went back and looked, and in the Keeper's rulebook, it is contradictory. So originally I thought that simply learning the spell was a sanity hit, but it also says that sanity loss will occur during each casting of the spell. Even though the rules sort of, like one paragraph will say, yes, it costs this to learn it, and it costs this to cast it, but then it also says there will be no more sanity loss simply by, I think, casting it. I think it's what it says. So it's a little contradictory, and we kind of have to cross that bridge when we come to it. Now that Samantha is sort of on the sidelines, it may not
Nobody
come up right away.
here
but-
actually knows any spells, I don't think, aside from Sam, and
Yeah,
she's not here. So.
Exactly. Samantha was the only one at this point. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if you guys will run across anything in this particular adventure, this scenario. But if we do run into it, hopefully by then I will have clarified that. I'll probably go to Chaosium and Reddit boards and just sort of ask a couple other people and see what they say, what they think should happen. So on one hand, it sort of does make sense. But on another hand, it's like, whoa, that's pretty drastic. So
What about the third hand?
that happens after casting the spell. Then you get that third. And your
What about the third eye?
opens. Yep, that opens right up, and your
Don't want to be third eye blind.
pineal gland comes out and squirts around, and then you eat some brains. So,
Yes.
very nice. I also wanted to shout out to Daniel Stewart on Twitter. His handle is @Tabletop Tapes. For chatting with us about episode 4, where we get extra silly by pulling out a Nokia phone in 1950. So if you're into RPG podcasts, give @Tabletop Tapes a listen, and we'll do the same.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. All right, and now we continue. Chapter 5, Hell House. Previously on the Lovecraft Tapes.
Ta-da-da.
Special Agent Roy Arroyo with the FBI is summoned to Assistant Director Sharon Skinner's office, where he is reassigned to the apparent suicide of a young woman named Kelly Landrum in Leland, Texas. Skinner believes there may be some connection to the Contented Cow murders after receiving photographs of the young woman's body in the morgue with a pentagram carved on her thigh. Roy is also assigned a new partner in this investigation, a young agent by the name of Jack Whiteside from the Louisiana office. They are tasked with flying out that Friday afternoon before the funeral takes place on Monday. Meanwhile, Samantha and Dan struggle unsuccessfully to communicate at Blaine Manor. She is preoccupied with her research to the point of barely acknowledging his presence. Dan's new detective agency has been contracted to consult with the FBI on the Leland suicide, and he surprises Roy by showing up on the private jet before takeoff. Later that evening, the trio lands to meet Officer Aaron Martinez, Kelly Landrum's old high school sweetheart. He gives them information about the way she slit her throat at the haunted house, leaving an ominous message written on the wall as her only suicide note. And now we continue. Episode 33. Officer Martinez takes back his smartphone. Let me try that again. Officer Martinez takes back his smartphone and Jesus Christ. Let me try that one more time.
Brain, meat, tongue.
Officer Martinez takes back his smartphone and prepares to email each of you the photos he took of the documents hidden in Chief Weaver's desk. Now this is between us, okay? If the chief got wind I'd gone snooping in his desk, I'd be done for at the station. And the townsfolk would run me out on a rail. My parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, they all live here. They'd be shamed. Promise me you'll keep it a secret?
You don't
These
need to
lips
worry
are
about
sealed.
it.
Well, I appreciate that. And he puts his smartphone back in his pocket, and soon you guys all have copies of the message that Kelly Landrum had scrawled upon the haunted house wall, along with photos of the pentagram that had been carved on her inner thigh.
That's too many points to carve, man.
You know,
Yeah, really, what's the point of a pentagram anyways?
I think I've seen that pentagram before.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that.
They all look alike, guys.
No, specifically, I've seen someone dead with a pentagram carved onto their inner thigh, just like that. Back up at the Contented Cow. God, who was
Really?
it? Oh God, I'm trying to pull out a name here. Started with a W. Wildflower, I think, is what I'm going for. There was one couple, and only one couple, that made it out of that place besides us alive, and it was a young couple with the last name of Wildflower, I believe. Except for the fact that it turns out that they weren't the Wildflowers, that they had murdered the actual Wildflowers and assumed their name to come up to the Contented Cow.
Interesting. So we could be looking at some serial killers traveling around here.
Serial killers?
Yeah, they really hate Captain Crunch.
Oh my God, that's just terrible.
He's been promoted now. It is Major Crunch.
That is true. That is true. You work hard, you put in your time, you're going to get promoted.
Disclaimer, I know nothing about military ranks, so if Major is below Captain, I apologize.
Well, I don't know all about that serial killer stuff. All I know is I hope you can find what happened to Kelly, because, you know, this just ain't right. There's something wrong with all this. I know she was in some pain and she had some problems, sure, but, you know, she never went in for all that God and devil stuff before she joined the Leland Free Evangelical Church. They must have put those thoughts in her head.
You know what denomination the church is? Are they?
I don't know. There's some offshoot. There's all kinds sprouting up around here.
Okay.
You know, Texas is just full of them.
Wait,
Yeah,
are they the
yeah.
kinds that believe in God?
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I don't get it.
All
I'm
right.
just a nice Christian boy, you know. That's part of the reason why Kelly and I never really got along.
Now,
All right.
Where's
Well-
where's Kelly being kept right now? Is she
She's
at the
down
morgue?
at the morgue. You know, I figure, you know, it's getting kind of late right now, and I'm sure you guys want to go check in your room. There's a diner just over yonder if you need some grub, and a gas station convenience store just a quarter mile up that way.
Okay.
Tomorrow's my day off, so I'll swing back around in the morning and take you over to the morgue if you need a closer look at the body. Your
appreciate that.
boss said you might.
There's no time for that. When a hot girl dies, we need to work on it as fast as possible.
Well,
I'm going to that.
I get that, but you know, the doc's been he took off, so you know, he'll be back around in the morning. We set up the appointment so you guys could have a good look see.
Where is
Okay.
this church? Where's it located?
Well, let me give you a map here. I prepared a map. So I'm gonna,
How nice
what
of
I'm
you.
going to do now is just move your marker over to this map that I made.
We don't have to say backpack 3 times and then ask for the map.
There you go.
Yes.
That should help you out.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
I
Now
see
that
you
I've
haven't
looked at the
upgraded
map.
your government surveillance satellites to color cameras yet.
Yeah, well, that's, I had to print it out, and I just used my fancy magic markers to make some notes there for you. I hope you can read that.
Okay, hold on. We're just a run through the woods and across a few roads away from the church.
Yeah, you sure are, and that's that's where you'll find the pastor.
Do they have any kind of regular schedule in terms of when they hold services? Do they have like a website or something where we can see that?
Yeah, I'm sure. Just Google it. I'm not sure if they got much of a website though. I don't remember, but I do remember seeing them on Google Maps, and they'll be around. I know they do some stuff on Saturday, but there's regular services Sunday morning, Sunday night.
Okay.
Well,
I'll have to make a
they
note
are
to Google them when I get back to the hotel.
Yeah, I know the Reverend hangs out there most of the time, so if you ever need to talk to him, you go on over.
Well, let's go drop our stuff off, and maybe we can run over before dinner. What do you think, Roy?
I think I'll go now, and you nerds can go back to the hotel.
All right. I hope your stuff's waiting for you when you get back, because you're putting it on the curb and going right now, correct?
I assume that you idiots can take it and feed my parakeets.
No, I give you the map here, and I don't know if you can see that, but everything's pretty much within walking distance. But if you guys need a car, I can have a loaner dropped off in the morning.
That'd be great. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's no problem. I got a buddy, and we'll get you something. He owns the junkyard outside of town, and we'll get you something. It ain't gonna be fancy, I'll tell you that much. But feel free to step on down to the diner. They got some pretty good burgers down there, and chili's the best. It's Texas.
Huh? Nothing like a good bowl of chili, am I right?
Absolutely.
I could go for some chili right now.
Well, speaking of which, I gotta head on home. So you guys have a good night, and I'll see you bright and early in the morning.
Thank you very much, Officer.
Martinez.
All right, there. Night.
Bye.
Wow, top-notch Foley we got here on the Lovecraft Tapes.
All right, so you guys have the rest of the evening to do what you like.
Danny, you hungry?
Hell yeah. I'm up for dropping our stuff over at the screen door and then going for some grub down at the diner if you are.
All right. Roy, are you going to come with us, or are you seriously about heading over there right now?
Well, you guys, I ate an armadillo on the way here. So
Where the hell did you get an armadillo to eat, Roy?
It's Texas. 40% of the population is armadillos, probably.
But ironically, he only ate the legs.
Did they taste like chicken?
They tasted more like pork that ate a chicken.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm going to go drop my bag off, and we'll meet out here in 15 minutes.
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
All right. So the rooms at the Screen Door Inn are pretty, sparse. They're nothing fancy. But they do have a pretty good shower, some good water pressure. The beds don't seem all that comfortable, but they do have TV and just basic.
Do they get
cable.
HBO?
No HBO, unfortunately. Sorry.
Damn.
Oh, God.
Did they get the Playboy station?
I was going to watch Game of Thrones.
But they do have Cinemax. So
None of them sponsor us. Stop talking about them.
Hey, boys, I'm going to skip
Cinemax.
So, they do have a mini bar as well, and inside the mini bar you find some Lone Star beers and some good whiskey and a Snickers bar.
A $48 Snickers bar.
You're not you and you're hungry.
What is this, the American healthcare system?
And there is a flyer for pizza delivery if you need that, and also Chinese.
Jeez, this town's got it all.
And you nerds wanted to walk to a diner?
I still do.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Think about how
Everyone
many.
knows.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put my stuff down and freshen up a little bit, and then step outside my room and wait for Danny to come out and Roy.
Okay. As you stand outside, Jack, you notice how quiet it is in this town. You can sort of hear the children playing off in the distance. A few cars go by, but traffic's pretty much
keep it down, you sons of bitches.
Judging from the parking lot, appears that there's maybe just a couple other people. This place probably has around 14, 15 rooms. It's kind of like the old-fashioned motels, sort of like the Bates Motel, where it's all just single story, and there's one little office on the very front corner. And it is starting to be sunset.
I'm going to do a bit of unpacking and then head outside to see where everyone else is.
All right. And Roy?
I'm going to take a nap.
Well, you are a little
They can
older,
wait.
So.
Hey, Danny, how you doing?
Doing good.
Settled in okay?
Yeah. Rooms are about what I'd expect for a small town, but they're not bad.
You're going to get what you get when the government's paying.
I mean, they don't have HBO, so I can't watch Game of Thrones, which is kind of disappointing. But
did Roy say he was coming?
I have no idea what Roy is doing.
All right, let's go knock real quick and see if he wants to go with us. Otherwise, we'll just head over.
I have a hunch he's taking a nap. I mean, A, it is Roy,
God.
and
Are you psychic?
B, he's old. He did a lot of napping when I was working with him too. So
I'm not that old.
Holy crap! Where'd that come from?
Oh, hold on. Roy just posted a Facebook update. I'm not that old. Huh. That's an oddly specific Facebook update. Oh, you'll get used to that. It happens a lot.
All right. Well, you want to head over?
Might as well.
All right. Let's go get some grub.
All right. As you guys head over towards the diner, you do hear the soft snoring in the background coming from.
He said soft.
Yeah, that's soft for you.
That's a little too quiet for me.
So it is
windows rattling as he.
It is mid to late October in Texas, and so it's actually pretty pleasant out this time of evening. It's around let's say low 70s, light wind, no big deal. Nice clear sky at this point, and the diner is just basically a couple blocks to the east. And you can see it's pretty popular. It's kind of thriving, and there's plenty of cars coming in and out of there. And but it looks like there's maybe a couple seats at the counter.
Sounds good. Well, you want belly up?
Looks like this is the place to be.
Sounds good.
All right.
So I'm gonna belly up to the bar. Well, the counter.
Counter.
Of course, I'm sure it's a diner.
And, of course, the classic diner waitress, like Flo from Alice, comes up to you. How you doing, honeys? What can I get you?
I'm good, sugar. Could you get me a cup of coffee?
Why, sure enough.
You know what? A cup of coffee sounds great right about now.
Two coffees coming right up. And just to let you know, pot roast is special tonight. And we also have brisket chili on the back there. Isn't that right, Ben? You sure know it. And she comes back and, like, within 30 seconds has your hot cups of coffee in front of you. You need some cream and sugar? It's right over here.
No, you're all the sugar I need.
Oh, you must be new in town. You don't know me well enough.
Hey, I'm going to have some of that chili.
Absolutely. And for you, hon?
You know what? I'm going to take up that offer on that pot roast because that sounds mighty fun as well.
You bet. I got two specials coming right up for you.
So, Danny, how did you get into the investigation business?
Well, it started with my now ex-fiance.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Her dad was kind of the one who started us all in on it. He had some sort of mental break after catching his wife cheating, and he went off and created his own weird drugs, apparently, which led to him going into a coma. And he told us in that coma that he was that he thought we were all detectives back in the 1950s. So when he came out of it, he couldn't really handle the fact that none of that was true. So he just kind of kept on going, playing the detective. And me and my fiance, or ex-fiance now, kind of got pulled in with him. And I guess you could say I got bitten by the detective bug, because after we finished dealing with that, everything else seemed a little too boring to stick around.
The detective bug and crabs.
We don't talk about that.
Well, it sounds like it was in your blood all along. So what do you think about your ex-potential father-in-law? You think he did it?
No. I mean, he was a little strange, very cold, did not seem to like me very much, but he did not at all seem like the kind of guy who would go around and murder an entire hotel full of people.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about that book you were talking about earlier.
Oh, My Life? Yeah.
No, the book.
The Cat in the Hat, right. Well, My Life was the diary of one of the earlier settlers of my hometown, Arkham, Massachusetts. And yes, it was Anne Frank's diary.
Oh, I'm sorry, Anne Frankenstein.
Yes.
Yeah, Anne Frankenstein's diary. So he wrote this diary, and for whatever reason, there was some sort of weird voodoo on it where anyone who read it would start experiencing blackouts and personality changes. And
now, why would you say voodoo?
Because we never figured out what caused the book to have the effect it did on people. We didn't have time. Things were kind of going a bit sideways, so we decided to just hedge our bets and drop the book down old well with a lit stick of dynamite.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that part from the plane. So what did it make people do?
So first, it would make people, how do I say this? Fancy younger women, and I mean younger women. They would start experiencing personality changes, blackouts. More often than not, this would consist of them purchasing large quantities of ketamine hydrochloride, which they would then use to drug, rape, and then murder the young women that they had started to fancy. And everyone who went through this afterwards claimed that it wasn't them, especially Stuart Portman's great grandnephew, I believe it was, said, we Roy, you can ask him about this, went up to MCI Cedar Junction in Walpole and interviewed the guy. Said it was the spirit of his ancestor who forced him to rape and murder a young girl.
Well, I'll tell you what, that sounds a little bit more like a curse than voodoo. There is a difference, you know.
I'd never really bought into that whole magic bullshit, but after seeing what that book did, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is something else out there.
I'll put my hand on the shoulder.
Fought an interdimensional creature.
Danny, you are wrong. Turn and start eating my chili.
And it happens to be the best chili that you've ever had in your life.
That's about as far as I got, too.
Roll for Constitution. And the pot roast is pretty dang good. Maybe a little on the dry side, Dan, but still not too shabby.
They keep it in that pie spitter.
It's actually in a hot dog spinner, and it just goes flop, flop, flop. So you guys finish up your meal quite quickly because you realize that you're probably a lot hungrier than expected. And so the waitress comes back around. You see that her name is actually Flo, which is very strange. And she's like, "Well, can I get you guys any dessert? We got some key lime pie over there, and I got a mile high custard.
Why don't you tell me about your insurance?
Well, do you have a motorcycle too, as well as owning a home?
Oh, I have it all.
What if I want to bundle all of those individual
We can
insurance
bundle,
policies
honey.
together?
You betcha.
Would that save me money, maybe?
I heard
Well,
that she likes to bundle.
You know, just between me and you, I'd say skip the dessert. They don't buy it. They go down to the Piggly Wiggly and just get some and slice it up. It ain't homemade, so I'd skip it. But hey, you sure you don't want some more dessert?
Oh no, thank you. I can't
All
possibly.
right then. Well, here's your ticket, and who'll be paying?
I'll take that. I'll take that.
All right.
I got this, Daddy.
Are you sure I can?
Time.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Daddy, Venmo me.
Well, I thank you, gentlemen, and you guys are welcome here anytime. Just FYI, we are open 24/7. I will not be here 24/7, but we are open 24/7.
Hey, can I ask you a quick question?
Absolutely, hon. She kind of leans in a little too close, elbow on the counter.
Where we are from out of town. We're here doing some
know
investigation.
Really? Investigation, you say? That's an odd way to say something. I just figured you guys were Bible salesmen.
No, not in this part of town. They don't need it. Did you, by chance, know Kelly Landrum?
Oh, my, that poor girl. That was terrible thing. Yeah. I didn't know her personally, but, you know, she was a very nice girl. I'd seen her about, but, you know, she'd had her problems back in the day. We all know about that.
Oh, like what? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, she was into the drugs and the drinking and the heavy metal music and just running with the wrong crowd, you know what I'm saying? But she was trying to get her act together.
Yeah, listening to Judas Priest backwards, scary.
It's the worst thing. But, you know, she got in with the reverend over there at the Evangelical Church, and she was trying to get right with God, and God bless her, but
well, good for her.
I guess she just couldn't escape her demons.
You know the pastor well?
Yeah, I know him okay. I don't like his brand of churching, but you know, he seems like a nice guy. I mean, he's a little weird. He's brother to the chief, so he kind of has run of the mill, but he keeps a low profile for the most part.
I'm gonna take my hand and put it on top of hers. Say, if you hear anything, will you please keep an ear out and let me know?
Well, I sure will, honey. I'll tell you what. Here's my number. She writes it on a little piece of paper, a little ticket, slides it across, and she's like, "You call me anytime you got some questions."
Yeah, thank you so much.
If you just want to talk or whatever.
I appreciate your hospitality.
Yeah. All right, now you boys have a good evening, and I got to get back to my customers. I'll see you around.
I leave her a 30% tip.
Hot damn tamale. She's out the door. She's catching a plane to Bermuda.
The bill is $9, so don't go too crazy.
All right.
Pew, 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 pew.
All right. So let's switch back real quick to Roy. The screed on the... let me try this again. Roy. The screed upon the wall, supposedly scrawled by Kelly Landrum, gives you the creeps. Satan has a plan for us all. That phrase bothers you most. Not because it reminds you of the contented cow murders, but because it does not resemble any of that evidence. The killer in New Hampshire left messages of just a couple words or symbols. This is practically a manifesto. And the fact that Kelly wrote it makes no sense. Of course, you're still mulling over the strange possessions surrounding my life, but that too is different. As you go to sleep at the screen door inn, your mind reels at the possibility of so many evil forces at work in this world. Roy, please describe the dream you have.
Well, in the dream, when it starts, I wake up in a cold sweat to see that the room is just an empty black corridor with a red light glowing in the distance. And I I follow I get out of bed and I don't put on clothes, and I go over to the red light and see a satanic ritual going on. There's 4 identical looking women, and upon further inspection, it's Kelly, all bowing around a pentagram with skulls and bones in the middle of it. And when one of them finishes lighting the last candle on the last edge of the pentagram, they summon a demon that chases me through the warehouse that just keeps relapsing, and I keep running until I end up waking up.
All right. So as you wake up, startled from this dream, you realize that the demon had the face of
Petunia?
George Portman. And at this point, I'm going to need you to roll a D100, please.
Oh no, Mr. Krabs. I got a 5 out of 100.
All right. All right. We'll leave you there. We'll go back to the other gentleman. You depart the diner, and it is now full night.
Wow, it's full night.
I'm a full night. I have so much time in my tummy.
Where'd she get the armor from? Well, I don't know about you, Mr. Special Agent, but I'm ready to head back to that screen door inn and collapse after a meal like that. Whew, I'm sleeping well tonight.
That sounds good to me, Danny. You can call me Jack, by the way.
All right. So the two of you make your way back to the Screen Door Inn. It's actually very peaceful. You hear crickets chirping in the distance, and you can see the streets are lit now with street lamps, and you can see porch lights being lit. And you can see like just a few children coming in from play off their
cornfields.
Yeah, cornfields.
Sure.
Children in the cornfields. And you arrive back at the Screen Door Inn, and you the first thing you hear, obviously, is Roy still deep in slumber, snoring away. And you retire to each of your rooms.
I retired?
You retired?
I'm moving to Boca Raton.
All right. So, Dan, the screed upon the wall, supposedly scrawled by Kelly Landrum, gives you the creeps. Satan is always with us and within us. That phrase bothers you most. Not because it's a new concept. Oh, no. You've seen what war can do to men, how it can turn a country boy into a killing machine. You're well acquainted with the evil in the hearts of others. No, it bothers you because it seems to ring particularly true right now at this juncture in your relationship with Samantha. For the 3rd time, you attempt to call but get her voicemail again. As you sleep in your uncomfortable bed at the Screen Door Inn, you dream of forbidden books and hellfire. Please describe that dream.
I'm going to snap to sitting at the desk in the Forbidden Books room at the Arkham Library. A bunch of tomes and everything sprawled out open in front of me. I'm not sure what I'm doing there, how I got there, or why I have all these books open, but I get the yearning sense that this is all very important and that I'm in the middle of something that I need to finish, and I need to finish now. Otherwise, bad things are going to start happening, not only to me, but to people that I really care about. As I look down to try and sort out just what I'm doing here, I hear a faint whisper behind me, and it almost sounds like Sam is calling my name somewhere back in the seemingly unending stacks of books in this very dimly lit underground room.
Danny.
Out of curiosity, I'm going to stand up and start walking down the aisle towards where I thought I heard the noise, only to realize that it's not the only noise there. I can hear almost like a static building and building the farther back I go. This noise just growing louder and louder in my ears to the point where I have to cover them, and that's not helping. I drop to my knees out of just the sheer pain from this volume in my ears. I look up and I see Kelly standing there smiling with a huge cut on her neck, just blood dripping down. And standing behind her, I see Sam. And that's when I fall face first onto the ground and wake up.
All right. So as you wake up, you're staring at the blackness on the ceiling, and you realize there is one additional detail from that dream that didn't immediately occur to you, but now that you have time to think about that final image, you realize there was a box cutter in Samantha's right hand, covered in blood. I'm going to need you to roll a D100, please.
I rolled a 71.
Okay. All right. Let's move along to Jack. Jack.
I'm right here.
Here's Johnny. Jack.
Here's Jackie
I'm Jack.
Kennedy, the first lady.
Back and to the left. All right. Jack. The screed upon the wall supposedly scrolled... let me try that again. Jack. The screed upon the wall, supposedly scrawled by Kelly Landrum, gives you the creeps. This is Satan's house, and it is too late to leave. That phrase bothers you most. It reminds you of a particular case in Nolans of a young babysitter who went missing for some time after accepting a job on the outskirts of town. How they found her dead in a cemetery near an abandoned house, shot through both eyes. That house matched the address of the flyer found on a bulletin board where the girl had gone to school, but no one lived there. No owner on record. But if the devil were to ever own a house, well, that'd be the one. As you drift off, watching the shadows play on the ceiling above your bed at the screen door inn, you're thinking of that house watching you with empty eyes. Please describe your dream.
It's more of a smell that hits me first. Dank, damp. Not sure where I'm at. Not sure what I'm supposed to do. I have to save her. I have to get to her. Who do I have to get to? I'm in this small room. It's so dark, I can't see anything. I have to save her. I feel the walls. They're wet, smooth, like soaked wallpaper. I find a door. It won't open. I have to save her. I bust that door down. I'm gonna save her. Everything is so dark, so wet, but it's not water. I wake up in a sweat.
And indeed, you do wake up and you notice that in your sleep, you must have thrashed around because you've knocked over the lamp on the bedside. It's on the ground, flickering, having been turned on. And from the bathroom, you hear drip, drip, drip.
Pull out my gun.
Pull out your gun and roll D100, please.
No. I don't want to roll it. Oh, I got to remember. Sorry. Yep.
There you go. 57.
57.
All right. Okay.
Did we all win the lottery?
Y'all won.
Those are tomorrow's numbers, 57157.
All right. So I have an inkling that Roy may have intended to take a nap and then go do something, but I'm going to rule that he fell into this deep dream slumber along with everybody else. And we're going to simply flash forward a little bit.
Flash dance first.
It is Saturday morning, October 21st. Why don't each of you roll D100 for me? All at once is fine. And the lowest person gets to wake up first.
Ah, dang
and that'd
it.
be Gabe.
Dang it.
So Roy, you're the first to wake up very early in the morning. It's right around 6:30, and you can see some sunlight creeping in through the blinds. Early dawn.
I totally intended to do something.
Yep.
So I'll get out of bed. We're in a hotel, so I'll stand around that area. Okay. I'll go down for the continental breakfast thing.
Well, unfortunately, there is no continental breakfast at this particular cheap ass motel, I should say.
Motel.
The screen door in isn't the most fancy thing in the world, and the diner is probably the only place that you can get some meals on a regular basis. But thankfully, it's open 24/7, and it's only 2 blocks away. But as soon as you step out of your room, you see that Officer Martinez is already there. And he is smoking a cigarette against his car. And he notices you come on. He's like, well, good morning, Mr. FBI.
That's not my name.
I know. I was just being friendly and polite like.
How would you like it if I was just like, oh, hey, guy with cigarette?
How'd you know my middle name?
It's because I'm a genius and I'm the best guy at everything. So.
Okay. I just want to make sure you weren't talking to nobody.
He's just the best around, and nothing can ever bring him down.
I do talk to people though, like frequently.
So I hope you slept all right last night.
Nah, it was actually awful. I had like some nightmare stuff going on, but it's fine.
Well, nightmares, you say? Well, yeah, I suppose I've had my fair share of those after seeing what happened to Kelly.
Yeah, mine too had to do with that one.
Yeah, well, you just got to put that behind us now. That poor girl, we're going to have to bury her come Monday. But I guess we'll get one last look at her today before she gets embalmed.
I definitely feel like it would have been respectful to bury her faster, but you all are lazy, so...
Well, it's there's been a little bit of contention. Her father is not too happy with the situation, which you can't blame him for that, but he does tend to get a little bit on the angry side.
I'd like to meet this guy. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, well, Mitch Landrum, he's a piece of work, all right. You could probably find him down at the local bar or passed out on his couch at home.
Man after my own heart.
All right, if you say so. Jack or Dan, rather, you hear some talking outside in the motel.
Get it? Because they only have screen doors.
Can't help but hear it. It's actually the whole thing. There's no walls or ceiling. It's just all screen doors.
I really hope it doesn't rain while we're down here. That would be unfortunate.
It doesn't rain in Texas.
If you're afraid of rain, you go on down to the storm door inn.
Oh, that okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Next, you're gonna tell me there's a sliding door in too.
No, that's next town over. Yeah, so
Oh,
it used to
damn.
be here, but then it slid. Yeah.
Yeah, now you're reaching.
So, and Jack, you also come to and hear voices outside.
I'm gonna get up, take a shower,
All right.
get dressed.
Roy, you can hear the other two guys are clearly getting ready, and Aaron is like, so what's your guy? Did you guys figure out if you needed a car or not?
Yeah, we definitely could be using a car.
I'm talking to Roy.
I'm in the shower.
It'd be really weird if I was in the shower with you.
No, I just updated my Facebook status.
You could see him because of the screen doors.
Oh, that's true. I could see him in there.
Screen
That's
door.
true. That's true.
I told you it was bigger in
Well, yeah.
Texas.
Let me just give you.
Oh.
Just give me a second here. I'll call my buddy. Hey, Frank. Yeah, can you get these guys that old junker you got out parked back?
Excuse me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No problem. Sounds good.
You're excused.
We'll meet back up with you. Just keep it parked outside the screen door in. No, not storm door. Screen door. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Thanks, man. Yeah, Frank's going to bring something over for you. I'll be here in a couple hours. No big deal. He'll gas it up for you. He's got to change the oil yet and put on a
I don't
new
want
tire,
him to fart in it.
Yeah, well, he's got the gas, so.
It runs on natural gas.
That's right. Beggars can't be choosers. So.
I didn't beg. I said sure.
Is there a Taco Bell in this town? We might need it to keep the car going.
Yeah, there is Taco Bell out towards the school there if you need. It's out on the corner, but honestly, I would not go there. There is actually a really good taco stand to the south there.
Is it called the really good taco stand?
It's called the.
We asked about Taco Bell, not taco stand.
It's called the Muy Bueno taco stand. And it's just down around the corner from the police department. So they got some real good stuff. They got lingua, they got tongue. It's all actually lingua is tongue, but they got pork face tacos. They got chicken tacos. They got shrimp tacos. They got.
But do they have taco fish?
That don't ring a bell. I don't think so. Think so.
Must be a Massachusetts thing.
Yeah, steer clear. What I do is I head on over to the Taco Bell and I use the bathroom. I flash the badge. I stock up on fire sauce, and then I go to the taco stand, the Muy Bueno taco stand. That's way better. So, all right. Well, you guys, you need to get some grub, some breakfast over the dining before we head out to the morgue, or would you rather look at this on an empty stomach?
I'd say it's probably a better idea to look at a body when you don't have anything to put back.
All right.
You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
could eat.
Well, we'll make a quick pit stop.
No, Roy, you can go grab the $68 Snickers bar out of the menu, and that can be your breakfast.
I'll grab it out of yours so they charge you for it.
Am I out of the damn shower yet?
Yeah, you guys are all out of the shower. You're all good to go.
He's out of the damn shower. He's stuck in the normal shower now.
That's right. All right. Well, you guys, let's head on over to the morgue if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Shotgun.
All right.
Some guy walks over from
I get in the front seat.
You yell shotgun. Some guy walks over from next door and hands you a 12 gauge and just walks away.
Here you go. Welcome to Texas.
It's a Remington.
Why do people keep giving us guns? Is that just something that happens around here?
Oh, don't worry about that. You'll get used to it after a while. Just
okay.
take him up to back east and sell him on the black market. Make sure to file off the serial numbers though first.
Okay, Officer Martinez.
All right. Well, let's get going. Dr. Cronenberg is waiting for us. Well, I said Cronenberg.
Cronenberg. He's
I chromed out my board.
All right, let's go on. So you guys all pile into his squad car and drive south for about 6, 7, 8 blocks and pull into a little brick building. Looks like it's probably an old I don't know what, like an old butcher shop or something. It's kind of weird looking. You can see that there's a faded sign that's been painted over on the front. It used to be some sort of retail space, but clearly it's been converted.
This here is the morgue?
Oh, yeah. This, it's when Daniel came to town. I'm sorry, Dr. Cronenborg. He's from Canada. He's kind of a weird guy, and I don't know. I guess this is the only place that had the space and facilities. It does have a massive basement for such a small place, so I think they used to store meat down there.
Is he got one of those flapping heads?
Flapping heads? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Does he say sorry a lot?
He does say sorry. Yes.
Okay.
He doesn't say sorry. It's just sorry. I don't know what that even means, but
case closed. The mortician did it.
Anyway, so yeah,
it's those damn Canadians always being so sneaky.
He said the door is going to be unlocked, so let's head on in.
No, we should knock for as long as it takes.
I think Roy just likes to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing.
No, I like doing everything that all of you do.
Today is opposite day, so that's perfectly fine. We don't mind. Down here in Texas, we're an easygoing type. You know what I'm saying? Nope. All right, so you guys walk in and
take away someone's gun, and then
there's a little bell above the door that goes ching ching ching, and you can see that there's just like a counter that clearly used to be like a butcher shop. It has clear glass, and it's just an empty display case that probably once upon a time had like ribs and sausages and things like that.
It still could if we play our cards right.
It's really weird because it still has like the fake grass in there.
Oh, nice.
But obviously there's nothing else in there right now. So
no human livers.
No human livers. No. And then a bespectacled white-haired gentleman comes out in a lab coat. You can see like there's blood smeared on the front of the lab coat. And he looks up and he's like, "Oh, yes. Hi, officer. Are these the folks that you were telling me about?" "Why, yes, it is. Please introduce yourselves."
"Hello there. My name is Special Agent." What's going on? What's everybody giggling? What the hell?
Yeah, he's special, all right.
My name is Special Agent Whiteside.
Oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Dan Williams. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, Williams. Yes, I knew a Williams up in Saskatchewan. Are you from Saskatchewan?
Massachusetts. Close enough, right?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, and I'm Roy, leader of this investigation.
Roy, nice to meet you. All right, so what is this all about?
I didn't know your last name was leader of this investigation. I thought it was Arroyo.
Dan's an idiot. Pay no attention to him.
And even son of a bitch.
Don't even answer his questions. Just ignore him.
Are you all always this fractious?
Yeah. This is about normal for us. Don't worry.
Okay. I guess
it's part of the process.
The new normal, right? Right. Yes. All right. Well, why don't you come on down? I understand you wanted to take a closer look at the Landrum body.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is Kid Canada really calling us not normal?
Sure, yeah. Abby normal, actually.
Not your buddy, guy.
Hey, guy. Fuck you.
No, scene.
So he leads you back into the back room there, and you can see that there is a bloated corpse of a black man, completely naked. He looks like he's probably 70 years old, and he's splayed out. His gut has been slit from groin to sternum, and you can see the entrails are just sort of spilling out and laid upon the flap of his stomach. And there's a weird sort of eggplant smell in the air. He's like, look, I'll have to pull her out of the drawer. We've been keeping her on ice all this time. If you wouldn't mind, there's some masks over there and some gloves if you need those.
Thank you. So, what happened to this gentleman?
Oh, that's just Billy. Yeah, he hung himself.
He died.
Yeah, he hanged himself in his barn. I guess he was a little distraught. There was a sheep he had, and evidently the sheep left the farm, and he was beside himself. I guess they had quite the thing going for many years, ever since his wife died about 10 years ago.
Was Billy from New Zealand by any chance?
No, I don't believe so. No, I think he was born and bred here, deep in the heart of Texas,
He was born and bred?
Yeah, he had some bread. Yeah.
Pumpernickel rye, maybe a nice like French baguette.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
it's in that
guys.
neighborhood, sure.
New plan of attack. We got to go question the sheep.
Yeah, they tried to find the sheep, but they were hoping that it would be able to attend the funeral, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, anyways,
Well, we'll keep our eyes open for a stray sheep.
So
I gotta put the mask on.
Okay, thank you, very good. You notice that he does not bother to, and he's not wearing gloves. And he's like, oh, here, Kelly Landrum, she's here in 2C, and he pulls out a drawer, and out comes Kelly Landrum, exactly the way that you saw her in the photographs. She's lying very still. Very pretty young lady. She looks like she was about 25. There's a clean cut from ear to ear along her neckline, just below her jawbone. And you see a little scab of some blood peeking between her thighs, which the legs have been closed. And she's completely nude. She does have a few tattoos too. And you notice, Roy, you notice that Officer Martinez is sort of turned away and is studiously not looking at Kelly.
I'm going to grab a pair of gloves and go over and get a good look at her tattoos to make sure that there's not anything there that might clue us into a little bit more about Kelly.
Okay.
Ha. Real men like me and Kid Canada don't need gloves.
Just elbow deep.
Oh. I'm going to put my gloves on and go examine the pentagram on her thigh.
Okay. And Roy, what are you going to be examining?
Neck is the neck.
Okay, great.
I'll check that out.
All right, let's begin with Dan. Dan, why don't you go ahead and give me a spot hidden?
I wanted the tattoos.
I quit.
See you later, guys. I needed a 58 and I rolled an 87. That is a failure.
Okay. Well, the tattoos appear to be some sort of Japanese or Hindu, you're not quite sure, symbol. There is one on her ankle, her left ankle, and there is one on her left bicep.
They say perseverance and hope, guys.
Honest, they do. Not slut and tramp.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. So
I'm going to take a picture.
Okay. Yeah, you can certainly take pictures of that. But other than that, they don't mean much to you. You're just not sure what language they might even be, or if there's simply a design. So unfortunately, that's about all you can ascertain. Let's go ahead and move on to Jack. Why don't you go ahead and give me a spot hidden, sir?
All right. Hey, Danny, will you do me a favor? Will you send me over those pics of the tattoos when you have a second?
Yeah, sure. I was going to quickly send the snaps up to a buddy of mine up in Arkham. Goes by the name Slim Jimmy. He runs his own parlor up there. I was hoping maybe he might have an idea of what the heck these things are.
Oh, that'd be great. I appreciate any information you get to pass it on to me. I'd like that.
Oh, yeah, I'll let you know if Slim gets back to me.
Sure you do, sicko.
Jesus Christ. My spot hidden, I needed a 70 and I got a 41.
All right, so that is a success. So you bend closer to the thighs and gently pry them apart. They're a little stiff and heavy, but with a little bit of rolling of the gloves, you're able to finally see that there is a very small pentagram, probably the size of a silver dollar pancake. on her inner thigh on the right-hand side. And it is quite freshly carved into the flesh. But as you look closer, you see that it appears that this fresh wound has been carved over old scar tissue. And so you realize that she'd probably been doing this to herself for many years.
Scarring herself.
Yeah. Clearly some sort of cutting problem.
I'm going to, real quick, call Roy over.
Roy is otherwise engaged currently? At the
He's
same time
engaged? I got to tell his wife.
At the same
I'm
time
literally standing at the neck.
Right. Exactly. So let's cut over to, no pun intended, to Roy. As you examine the wound on her neck, why don't you guys give me a spot hidden, please?
I need a 70. I got a 51. That's
right.
a success.
I'm bad at spotting things.
So
you
look at the wound, and it is a relatively clean cut from the left ear to the right. And you realize that there is just no way she'd be able to survive this sort of wound. But there's a bit of ragged cuts along the jawline that indicates that she might have hesitated a little bit during the cut.
Or used a bread knife.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what you find out.
Guys, I think I figured it out.
Figure what out, Roy?
This chick died by having her throat slit.
Dead
God, you are a genius. Hey, Roy, come here real quick. I need your opinion on something.
Comes there real quick.
Oh, gross. Next time, just walk over to me.
Maybe rephrase better, huh?
Hey, you ever seen anything like this? Now look real close. She's carved it in several times on this pentagram. This isn't a one-time thing.
Yeah?
Have you ever seen anything like it?
So my daughter Rhonda,
Mm-hmm.
she gets pretty edgy like that too, but it's never been this bad. Mostly she just does it to get attention, but...
Your daughter cuts herself?
Yeah, but I gave her the car and she hasn't done it since then.
Roy, you gotta take care of your girl.
Well, okay.
You gotta make sure she's okay.
Oh, do you have kids, huh? Oh.
I had a kid.
Oh, wow. Look at that. So I'm taking advice from someone who does... See, that means nothing to me. Have 11 kids and a deadbeat wife. You'll see.
You know what? Never mind. Maybe we should do this separately. I walk away.
But as he turns to walk away, Roy, there is something that he said that sort of sparks interest in one of your goals.
One sec.
These no gloves are getting sticky.
Wow. Having a kid sister. So that's where Charles Blaine is.
Well, the if this is an old wound that she has been tracing, then the pentagram is probably no connection to Charles Blaine or the Contented Cow murders.
That is... Yeah, there's no connection, probably. So we should fly back to Massachusetts.
And show's over.
Good night. See you later, folks.
But of course, you can't be 100% sure. But that's something you should probably report back to Assistant Director Skinner.
All right, so I'll not wash my hands and I'll bring out my phone. And I'll call Skin.
As you're dialing the phone, there's a commotion at the door behind. And suddenly, a gentleman stumbles into the morgue And he says, "Why you get away from my daughter, you bastards?"
She's dead, idiot.
And it's Mitch Landrum, drunk,
of course.
3 sheets to the wind, and in his hand is a baseball bat. And that's where we're going to end this episode.
Oh.
I know a thing about drunk dads.
I am one. Wait a minute.
I am one.
You and I, Mitch, we're one and the same.
Give me the bat. I'll do it.
All right, how are we feeling about this scenario so far?
Good. We're getting there. I think we're doing better at investigating. Which is
except for me, who can't roll spot hidden to save my life, apparently.
Yeah, I'm going to double cross this to join Mitch next episode.
That's why I took pictures, so I can send them up to my friend Slim Jimmy, who runs a tattoo parlor, who is hopefully going to help me out.
Is he the guy that invented Slim Jims? I meant to ask.
He is.
No, but it's a family name, so...
All right, well, let's go ahead and launch into our recommendos for this week, and let's start off with Brian.
I'm recommending an old anime called Bleach. Have any of you guys ever watched it?
No, but I smelled it.
Oh.
So you dealt it. Oh.
All right, your turn, Matt.
I drink it.
It's about a teenager that can see spirits, can see ghosts, and he doesn't think anything of it. It's normal for him until he comes across a demon chasing down a ghost and doesn't know what to make of it. So throughout the anime, he gains powers to try to save the spirits and kill all the demons that are trying to steal those souls and eat them and devour with them. So real gory, real fun. It's on Netflix.
Great. How about you, Gabe?
So this is I try and make sure I find a way that I can tell you how to see it before I talk about it. And most recently, a show has been put up on Netflix that came out, I think, 2015 and 16, called Gallivant. And it's a musical show. And it's wonderful. It's by Alan Menken. And it's basically a self-aware musical comedy about the Middle Ages. I think one great line that just tells you about how self-aware it is in the season 2 opening song said, "You'll know hell's freezing if we get decent ratings." But it's got like great people. It's got Vinnie Jones, to me, is the MVP in this.
Nice.
Because he still plays like his goonish ways, but he sings and is nicer, and that's really fun to see because I love Vinnie Jones. And the other like MVP of the show is Timothy O'Munson, which is he's in Psych. So
that guy.
And he's rocking a beard that basically makes him unrecognizable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the best things about the show is all the guest stars that you just get over it. Like, you got John Stamos and Weird Al, among others, that just come in, and all the music's great. The plot's hilarious. It's just really fun time. And that's Gallivant on Netflix.
Sweet. Sounds like fun. And Matthew, how about you, buddy?
Only if Brian can give me a number between 1 and 20.
1.
Okay. This week...
22.
This week, I'm going to tell you all to go out and pick up a game called PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. What it is that it is basically it is the top of the battle royale genre right now. You can either play solo with another person or with a group of up to 4, and it's you and 100 other people, or you and 99 other people, all get dropped onto this one map, and you have to scavenge and hunt for supplies. And as the game goes on, the area of the map that you are allowed to occupy slowly grows smaller and smaller and smaller, constantly forcing you to move into a smaller area to purposefully run you into other players. And it's all about, having the best gear or knowing where to position yourself so that you can get the drop on other people and make it to the end before they can kill you. Huh. It is very suspenseful. It is a lot of fun, despite there not really being a whole lot there. It's just the formula and the way they put the game together makes it super compelling to just keep going back to.
Huh. Sounds like DayZ, that game type.
Yeah.
World
Except
War DayZ?
no zombies in this one.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's here?
Yeah, it sounds like Jay-Z.
Beyonce?
Beyonce.
Blue Ivy. No pictures.
What about you, Jeremy? What's your recommendo?
Well, as you might have guessed, my recommendo for this week is a horror movie.
What?
It is, no joke.
Come
And so this is 1973's The Creeping Flesh. Starring
Sexy.
Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, two great actors of the Hammer generation. I'm trying to remember if this was an AIP or I don't think it was a Hammer, but it was something along those lines, or Amicus maybe. Amicus Production used to do these kinds of things. And basically, Peter Cushing plays a scientist who is attempting to have a breakthrough about the nature of good and evil, and he discovers that evil is essentially just a virus that can be potentially cured if you inoculate people's blood with the evil virus. You might be able to conquer it and eradicate it worldwide. Well, unfortunately, he discovers this by harvesting cells from a pre-Ethiopian man that turns out to be a god that should have never been unearthed because it was pure evil. And all it has to do is get wet. So, of course, if you spill a little bit of water on it or take it out in the rain, then yeah, it's not a good thing. So Christopher Lee plays his half-brother, potentially, who also runs an insane asylum and is doing all these kind of weird experiments and has no really morals or scruples or anything like that. And it basically, Peter Cushing's daughter is injected with the evil virus, thinking that she'd be cured or inoculated against evil for the rest of her life. And unfortunately, it turns her evil. And so it's basically that whole sort of back and forth mad scientist kind of thing. And it's really super creepy. Very well shot by Freddie Francis is the director, I believe. And it's just a nice old school throwback. It's on Shudder. It looks fantastic. It's been restored, and it's very silly. The setup is basically preposterous, but it's still a lot of fun. And Peter Cushing is just a great actor, and Christopher Lee is no slouch either. So it's great fun to see these guys interact. And so I highly recommend The Creeping Flesh from 1973.
Sounds vaguely reminiscent of The Tingler.
It does, and it's The Tingler, and there was also another one, like Horror Express, which I believe also had Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in it, and they are accompanying a frozen body of a Neanderthal or something, or some creature, and then over the course of the train thing, it thaws, and then it's stalking in the train. So that's a really good one too. Horror Express.
People used
That's
to be
two
really scared of
recommendos.
trains.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this episode of the Lovecraft Tapes. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe on iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, or anywhere you download your regular podcasts. If you like what you hear, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, as well as leave us a little bit of commentary and review, because we'd really like to hear from you. Meanwhile, you can find us at thelovecrafttapes.com with links to all our social media, including Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, and our wiki, which is in flux. Links to our recommendos can be found on our website. You can find me on Twitter at Lovecraft Tapes.
And me at Lovecraft Gabe.
And you can find me at Brian Podcasts.
What? No way.
You can find Matt at Muted Microphone.
Oh, and if you really want to get a tattoo, I know this guy up in Massachusetts named by Slim Jimmy. Hit me up
Jeff.
at the Real Weird Kid on YouTube, and I can set you up with something special.
Very nice. All right. Well, until next time, guys, roll for sanity.
No.
All right.
No, not going to happen.
The stream. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.